All right. Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome again to Cruise Chat Live. I'm Donovan, your host and independent travel advisor with EOK Travel Company. We are your experts in planning cruise travel all around the world, whether you're visiting Alaska, the Caribbean, Europe, or destinations everywhere. We can help match you with the right cruise experience for you and make sure that you get a great deal all at the same time. Now, today, we have our good friend Javier. You may recognize him from a previous cruise chat with Holland America, but he pulls double duty and also works for Seabourn Cruises as well. So we're super excited to have Javier back on again to teach us a little bit more about Seabourn and what ultra luxury cruising looks like with them. Before we get started, be sure everyone to let us know down in the comments where you're from. Certainly drop any questions that you have in the comments. We'll be watching that so that we can get those answers direct from the expert himself. So Javier, welcome on again. How was your Thanksgiving holiday?
Donovan and everyone, it was good, too good. I ate too much.
I think we all did. I know I did.
Yes, yeah. So no, it was a good break, and there's nothing about like family and friends and get that downtime to recharge. So because we
Yes.
are preparing now for wave season. For those that are not familiar in the industry, it's the busiest booking period of the year. So yeah, I'm sure. Are you seeing it, Donovan, already?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. We were talking here just before the call for everybody watching, and I think people had their Thanksgiving dinner, and maybe around the table, the dinner table, we're talking about their cruise vacations. Because let me tell you, it has been just a madhouse of people reaching out, wanting to plan cruises. And as you know, as I've shared with you before, I book a lot of Alaska cruises in particular. But of course, we plan cruises everywhere, right? And I've had a lot of people. Alaska is still super red hot, but a lot of Mediterranean folks are starting to look at the Greece and the Italy and France and Spain. Of course, Javier kind of getting back off into the Holland America side of things. We have a group cruise planned with Holland America up to Norway from Rotterdam. So I've had a lot of interest in that as well. So it has been absolutely bonkers. I think I've been working like 10 or 12-hour days just to try to get to all the new folks, but still take care of my existing people that have already had their cruises booked.
Yeah. You are rocking it, my friend. I have to give you kudos to the success that you're having with your client base and just you yourself being proactive to be the expert on certain brands. I mean, it shows without a doubt with all of the trainings and the reaching out, the relationships that you've built over how many years have you been doing this now? Over three
You know,
years?
we're almost to the day at 2 full years in operation. So,
Yeah,
professionally selling travel, of course, have been traveling for well over 10
correct.
years. But, it's funny you mentioned that because really in this business and in any business, because again, we are running a travel agency, it is a business at the end of the day. But the cornerstone of that is those relationships, not only with our
Yep.
clients, but with our travel supplier partners like you. I have many
Yep.
others, and that's honestly one of the key points I try to tell folks is, hey, when you're booking with a travel advisor, whether it's me or somebody else, we have those direct contact relationships with amazing people like Javier to help us out, or when we have questions. I know I had kind of a weird question with you on a Holland America cruise for some folks that have
Yes.
some special kind of medical needs, and you were able to get me right where I needed to go. And just in full disclosure to everybody, just like today's cruise chat, I love hosting these not only to share kind of new brands and even brands that folks have heard of, right? The Royal Caribbeans, the celebrities, the Holland Americas of the world, just so that we can learn more. But in full disclosure, I have never personally sailed with Seabourn. I know of Seabourn. I have not booked a client on a Seabourn cruise, but we're going to learn a lot about Seabourn today, and I likely we'll get a call or an email from somebody saying, "Hey, I saw your cruise chat with Javier, and I'm kind of interested in Seabourn and what they have going on." That seems to always happen.
It does. It does. It does. And um, going back, Donovan, to the relationships, it's this is what separates you from the others and from dot coms, because you have that relationship with the supplier, and
Hmm.
should things go haywire, as they sometimes do, it's that you're that extra layer of support. So kudos to that, and to also all of the extra specials that we can build and offer
Yep,
to your client base. So it's, yeah, it's huge for advisors to have that relationship, so that
definitely.
they could sell that supplier. So kudos, man. I wish I could duplicate you with
Well, I
more.
certainly appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. It really is. I have a passion for cruising. I personally love cruising. I have been, gosh, we just did a cruise, my wife, and we actually took the kiddos back in early November on Royal Caribbean, and it was our my 40th cruise. I've been on a couple more than them, just with some work cruises in there, but just love cruising and love helping folks plan their cruises. And it's so funny because I truly get folks who are planning their very first cruise ever. They know nothing and they have a million questions. And I get people that, they're cruise experts. They know exactly what they want. They just want somebody else to handle all of the details. So it kind of goes both ways. But I really appreciate your comments first off. And
Yep.
it's a testament to the amazing clients that I have, right, that make my
Thanks.
job fun and easy. And then again, folks like you, Javier, that again are just great resources. For those of you who don't know, I can literally call, text,
Thanks.
Facebook message Javier at all hours of the night with time change, because he's East Coast, I'm West Coast. And he always replies. So, when I have a question or I need an answer for a client, he's always quick to take care of that for me. And I very much appreciate that.
Of course, of course. Your success is our success. So we're tied into it together, my friend. We are
Definitely.
tied into it together.
Definitely. So let's talk Seabourn. So
Yep.
again, I'll be very honest. I've heard of Seabourn, and I'm fairly familiar with kind of those ultra luxury cruise lines, but Seabourn is probably one that I honestly know the least about. So can you kind of just high level, just tell us what is Seabourn?
Sure. So I've got a deck here, but I think I'll just do some just personal talk here.
Sure.
We are that luxury brand that
Hmm.
is a good blend of luxury and exploration. We have a lot of inclusions in our product. It's small yacht-like ship experiences with us. So our ships range from 600 passengers to 450 with the ocean, and we do have expedition. We have two ships, 254 passengers, that go into more remote, unique areas. We do fit, like, if you want to put us in a bucket, we are in that luxury space. So there's a good number of our peer comps, or a peer set out there. Rattle off some names, like Regent, Silversea, Crystal,
Sure.
That would be like our peer set. We are about a 30-year-old company. We have 5 ships in the fleet right now. But what resonates with our guests that get them hooked on Seabourn right when they first experience is the energy and atmosphere on board. When people say luxury, they're like, okay, what does that mean? Stuffy,
Mhm.
traditional, old, boring.
Do I have to pack my tuxedo, right? That's always the question
Right.
I get.
Yeah. And it's funny because you've seen like that trend, and it's definitely relaxed to luxury. But the staff and crew, though, they are the secret sauce. They really are the soul and heartbeat of Seabourn. It's funny because the ships are so intimate, the crew to guest ratio is 1 to 1. So
Wow.
because of that, yeah, exactly. You don't know it until like you experience it, but they're incentivized to just have that proactive approach on knowing what the needs are for the guests. So, yeah, there's like basic things of like remembering your name, but like, prime example, my wife and I and our daughter, we did a med cruise a couple of years ago. This was like in late April, May. It was like we got back on board like 2 o'clock. It was like day 3 of the cruise. And I still remember this waiter because Marco, uh, he attended to us like on the first day, and like the routine was on the first day, it's like margarita for dad, a pina colada for mom, and apple juice half and half with water for our daughter Rebecca, right? And
Mhm.
she's like 2 years old at the time. I kid you not, pool. We're coming on board, like putting our things down just to get settled to have a late lunch. Marco comes with a tray. He's like, "Welcome, you tacos." Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "You remember? We haven't seen you," and you just remembered, right? So it's those
That's
little
incredible.
touches. Yeah. And the staff is really incentivized to do the surprise and delights. It could be minimal, but it could be on a variety of other items too. But what I hear a lot of from first timers to Seabourn is like what's all included in the Seabourn experience. I'm just going to share my screen really quick here
Sure.
and just give you a little bit of rundown. You can find this on the consumer site. So let me know if I need to zoom in, Donovan, if it's showing okay on your side.
I don't see it quite yet. You might try to share again, and then I'll pop it up here on the screen. I'm not seeing it
Let's
just
see.
yet.
Sorry.
There we go. There's that. Yeah, and you might give it just a couple clicks of zoom just so it shows up nicely for everybody, but we do see it. Yeah, that looks great. And I just want
Oh,
to say I'm glad that you mentioned that because talking about kind of the word luxury, because I get that question a lot. Whether it's someone who's maybe interested in say like the retreat on Celebrity or Yacht Club MSC, or they're looking at some of the luxury, true luxury lines. And they're always, is it stuffy? Is it pretentious? Do I have to dress up a certain way? Is it like cruising that you see in the movies, right? And that's just not the case. And that's what I try to explain to folks is even on luxury cruising, mainstream cruise lines, your family friendly lines, cruising in general over the last, probably 10 years especially has really just become more casual and relaxed. And not to say that there's not folks out there who still are going to dress up and they're going to dress to the nines and really kind of get into that, but it's certainly not expected, not required, even on luxury lines like Seabourn.
correct. Just to manage expectations on board across the fleet, we still have those cruise elegant nights or the captain celebration. And on those evenings, there are dining venues where there is a dress code enforced. So like in the restaurant, which is like the main dining room, or in Solis, it's sports coat and slacks for men. For ladies, cocktail dress is more than sufficient. But
Sure.
on those cruise elegant nights, that's where you have that. But on Seabourn, there's a variety of other dining venues like Earth and Ocean, which is al fresco type of dining by the pool. The menu changes every evening. It's more relaxed there. You also have the Colonnade, where that's the sit down service as an indoor outdoor experience as well. It's
Okay.
what you, I guess, traditionally call the buffet, but you'll find lobster tails. You'll find your fillets, a sit down menu for dinner, and that menu changes. You also have the sushi restaurant as well, that's open to all guests, and then the Seabourn Explore area, where we'll have like hors d'oeuvres. And then probably my personal favorite, if I'm being lazy and I just want some wife time, and we'll just call in room service. We'll get the steak or some outlandish menu item on room service, and they'll set up
Yeah.
with linens out on the veranda, dinner for both of us. So it's there's a lot of variety with us for Seabourn and dining venues for the guests, and it's all included. There's no extra charges or anything like that. Solis is reservation only. It's our Mediterranean restaurant, and
Okay.
that's where all guests will have a confirmed reservation on every 7 day voyage, or every 7 days if they're doing a longer voyage. If you do want extra reservations, you can request that when on board. But another inclusion that guests love is the complimentary premium wines, spirits available. It's funny. Our past guests, we call them Seabourn Club members, and there's always a hot topic per ship of like, what's the wine list, for this ship in this region? Because yeah, I mean
I'm
they
sure it
follow
changes.
the team. Exactly, because it's based on the region. You're going to get that local experience if you're doing the Med versus like South America, or if you're doing Alaska and Asia. So we cruise all across the world. I'll touch on all 7 continents. So you have that. Other inclusions are the complimentary caviar. You can order as your heart desires, whether in room service or out in the restaurants or out by poolside. We'll have it 24/7. The culinary that I mentioned, the dining venues, complimentary. There's a welcome champagne and complimentary in-suite bar. Prior to sailing, you can actually customize your in-suite bar with beverages that you prefer to have in your
Okay.
suite. You can order bottles of champagne complimentary for your room or out in the dining venues for the guests to enjoy. It's our house wine or our house champagne that we have. Gratuities are included, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll have different conversationalists. I mean, you could see everything else, but probably the biggest thing that I get is, what about shore excursions? Like,
Right.
are those included with Seabourn? So we do have what we call our signature events, and this is based on different itineraries that we have. So if we're in the Mediterranean, when we go to Ephesus, we stop in Kusadasi. We have a private event in Ephesus. It's like a 4 piece, 5 piece concert for all guests from the ship to enjoy. There's champagne, wine, heavy hors d'oeuvres. It's about a 2 hour concert. And then guests come back and celebrate on board. There's a deck party and so forth as we
Okay.
sail away. We'll have a lot of shopping with the chefs, like over 120 different opportunities on different itineraries. That's included for the guests, first come, first served. If you're doing the Arctic on expedition, like in Antarctica or the Arctic, we'll do caviar on the ice. We'll do a polar
Oh,
plunge.
wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And if you're doing Caribbean with us in Carabula, it's our private beach area that we have, and we'll do where our staff and crew come out in the ocean on longboard, serving caviar and champagne to all guests and enjoying a high-end beach barbecue experience with steak, lobsters, the whole 9 yards. But that's like what we have. And then another item that we're big on Seabourn is that a lot of our promotions, we have a high onboard credit offer. We do this on purpose so that the guests could curate what they want to do with, you know, with if it's short excursions or something in the spa or maybe gift shop,
Sure.
that they could like curate their whole experience, right? I know other brands include like a basic Shorex and a variety of ports of call, but is that really what you want to do? So
Right.
this gives the guests a little bit more flexibility with that. Wi-Fi is included, and so forth. So there's a lot of inclusions with our Seabourn experience there.
So I have to ask, I'm just curious, have you done, Antarctica with Seabourn?
Not yet, my
Okay.
friend. It's on the list. Hopefully 2026. Probably not this season, but fall, winter of 26, spring or January, February 27. So it's on the
Okay.
list.
I was gonna ask if you had done the polar plunge, so I was wanting to get off into that, but not quite yet, so that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll wait for the report back after you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or maybe you might jump on sooner. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you never know. Maybe we'll try to time that up together and we can do that at the same time. So, um, yeah, that's, just kind of thinking about everything that you just talked about, the inclusions with Seabourn. And, I think a lot of people, they'll look at luxury cruising, or maybe, if I have a client or a new client that, everything they're telling me, right, as we have our phone conversation kind of leads to that type of cruising and I present it to them. A lot of people initially, they might be sticker shocked by the price.
Sure.
But what I try to get people to understand, to help them to understand, and you did a great job of kind of lining it out, is you're almost paying for everything up front. So whereas on more traditional cruise lines, again, even in your kind of ship within a ship concepts that you see from,
Ah,
the celebrities, the MSCs, the Norwegians, even with those, you're still adding on a lot of extra things. Specialty dining isn't included, or it's the most basic Wi-Fi, or gratuities or extra, all the things, even with the bundled package you see out there. So I try to do the math for folks and kind of compare apples to apples. And more often than not, for a seaborne cruise, a luxury cruise, the price is not that much different, if any. And then, you look at the level of service. You mentioned the 1-to-1 guest ratio, 600, 700 passengers. And that is a completely different cruise experience than even Holland America, right? That's 2,000, 2,400 folks. That is still a really nice kind of guest count on a ship, but to get down to sub 1,000, I mean, it totally changes the game on what your experience is.
it really does, Donovan. And that is what you see and feel immediately when you walk on the ship. Like even like the gangway, like when you get to the dock, the staff, like literally the staff from the ship
Hmm.
is there to pick up your luggage and carry it on board for you. You're not like schlepping, you're carrying on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's you're not fighting the crowds, you're not fighting for deck chairs.
Not waiting in lines. I
Not
mean,
waiting in
just totally
line.
different.
Yeah. Yeah, and the energy on board, I'll probably share this too. The cruise directors and the social host teams, they are super energetic. Average age probably high 50s, depending on the length of the voyage. The longer the voyage, the higher the average age. But
Okay.
it's still energetic. You have the cruise director, the live bands, live musicians. You have the different speaker series on board. If you're on expedition, you have our 23 guide experts on board. Not only are they you know, telling you in the morning, the debriefing of what you're going to experience and then review what you did. And they'll be on the Zodiacs, but they're also on board, just engaging, mixing and mingling at the cocktail parties, inviting you to dinner to sit with them at their hosted tables
Right.
in the restaurants. So, I mean, it's just that intimacy is an experience and price point that guests are paying, hence a little bit more premium. And like you said, if you're already doing the suites on a premium brand and buying um on Holland America, we call it the have it all package. If
Yep.
you're booking the Neptunes or the um suites, I would say you are prime and ready to go to Seabourn and take a look at those itineraries. Like, because our ships are small too, not only do we access these large ports, but we go into marinas. So it's these small, off the beaten track
Yep.
marinas that you just dock right in and we unload there. And it's just like, wow, where am I?
Yeah, no, that's a key difference too. Again, these ships are so much smaller. You have the ability to go places that, the big ships, even the medium-sized ships can't get to. So it's so funny, right? When you're looking at an itinerary for Seabourn and you're looking at the places you go and you're like, I've never heard of half of these places. Well, it's because it's the small little town right off the coast that no other cruise line can go to, but you're going to have that experience. So I'm just curious,
Yeah.
does Seabourn do a lot of like long port stays or overnight stays? Is that really a thing?
Yep, great question. So we do late night departures like 11 o'clock p.m. or midnight, or even some overnight departures as well. So it depends on the itinerary. You'll view some of that as you're looking through the brochure or the online portal. So I'm just going to pull up an itinerary here just so that you could get an idea of our 26 med voyages, just so that you could see at a glance of what we have. So just uh, bum, bum. So let me just show here. Let me share my screen. And forgive me, my tech savviness is sometimes not the
No
best here,
worries.
but
No, that's okay. And while you're pulling that up on my screen here, I was kind of just browsing through some random Seabourn cruises for kind of next spring into summer.
yep,
And I mean, just a great example. I'm looking 7-night Greece and Dalmatian Delights cruise from Athens to Dubrovnik, Croatia, July 26th, and that one starts at 3,800 a person. And I
yeah,
mean that for what you're getting, all the inclusions, the experience, that is by no means a bad price whatsoever. And one of the things while you're pulling that up here, we can see it, but I wanted to kind of touch on too that is very unique to our agency. So with pretty much every seaborne cruise, we're going to have some special amenities that we're
yes,
able to pass on to everybody that's watching here. So we kind of have two buckets, if you will. One is called a private car and guide sailing, and what that means is on that cruise you're going to get to pick a port where, complimentary to you, you're going to be able to have a private car and driver for the day. And I will tell folks, I did a Mediterranean cruise earlier this summer, and that was kind of our go-to excursion, was hiring a private car for the day. And let me tell you, it is hands down the best way to see these ports, on the other side of the world, because you're working with a local that knows the places, knows the non-touristy places, can still take you to all the tourist attractions, but to be able to have that, again, that's something that our agency can just offer to our clients who book with us. To have that complimentary, I think, is a game changer. And then the other kind of big bucket we have for folks is a hosted sailing, right, where there will be a super knowledgeable travel advisor as an extension of us on board almost acting kind of as your concierge. They invite you to a welcome reception, and they're there to just further enhance your cruise. And all of those perks are no extra cost to our clients, but are things that we're able to add on. And again, just looking at the list, almost every single Seabourn cruise
That's
has
amazing.
one of those on there. So I don't mean to steal
No.
the show, but I wanted to just touch on that really
And,
fast.
and that's a great call out, Donovan, because that's the exclusives that guests have through you and your agency, right? So we don't do
Yep.
that as an open to general consumer.
Yep.
It's that private car driver. If that itinerary is not offering it, it's also the substitutions of an onboard credit
Right.
that you can have for to enjoy on board. So 100%. If you're doing expedition, it's a $500 per suite onboard credit. So that goes perfect for the spa, optional excursions, maybe the submarine on the expedition. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's all these little perks that that you could offer, and that stack on top of current promotions to make it even
Exactly.
richer. Again,
Exactly.
consumers,
That's
guests,
what I try to tell
this
people is
is
these
so
promotions and perks and amenities, they all stack. So you get to kind of double dip, and then you have access to me, right, to help in planning all of the bits and pieces of your cruise. We as an extension, we have Javier, who we know is an expert in all things. And so we've always got him kind of in our back pocket to help us too.
yeah. Yeah, and it's so funny. Like, consumers think that they're going to pay more to work with you. It's not the case. Like us, as supplier, we pay directly to the agency.
Yep.
We're not increasing the rate at all. If anything, it's your opportunity to get a better value, better enhance your experience.
Exactly.
But not every agent's the same. So you do need to
Do your research.
do your research, because there are fly by night advisors out there that are still
Yes.
learning. But Donovan is a true testament to being that expert and going above and beyond for guests. So yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Do you want to pull your screen up? I know I kind of got on a
Oh
tangent
yeah.
there.
Let me pull this up right now. Sorry, I turned it off because we were just chit chatting
Yeah, no
there.
worries.
So I'm pulling up right now the just some of our Mediterranean and Northern Europe itineraries that you could just see here. So anything with this moon shape will distinguish that it's a late night departure. So this is our 15-day Bay of Biscay, Spain and France explorer. So you can see in Rouen and Bordeaux, there's a late night departure there. So as you're going through the consumer site or through our electronic brochures, if anything that you see like that will display a late night departure. If it was like a sun and a moon, I don't think on here it shows that, but if it showed like a sun on the other half, that would include like an overnight there. But these are just some examples here of just some of our Northern Europe and Med itineraries that we have on Seabourn. And just so you know, for a fun fact for 26, for guests, especially if you have club members, we sold Sojourn. She's leaving the fleet in late March, early April, when she concludes her world cruise. And we are going to have Quest in the Med here. So historically, we've had
Okay.
like two ships do the Med. So we've reduced some of the capacity in the Med for 26. So if you are considering Med, I would highly recommend to book that sooner than later, because I could see 26 Med just taking off altogether,
Sure.
selling out a little bit sooner. And for other destinations for us that we do really well, just to give you a little bit of insight, just going to pick Alaska and also Asia over here. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, a little off, two different beaten paths, but Encore is going to be in Asia for the spring and fall season. So spring is obviously the cherry blossom season when you get into Japan,
Yeah.
but you could see everything that we offer here. And you can already view there's some dates already sold out. But this is a great 14-day Japan crafts and cherry blossoms, still available. Small ship experience. Not only do we get into the larger ports, but we also get into some of these smaller, more intimate ports as well, that you could see here. So Japan's a great itinerary for us for Seabourn. Um, I'm hoping, where is it? Okay, so now the crossover, right, for leaving Asia and going into Alaska. So this is the big trans-Pacific voyage, if that's your
Right.
jam and you just want to enjoy the experience. But our Alaska for Seabourn, what I love that's super unique, we have like 4 different variation of itineraries from 7, 8, and 14-day itineraries, but they all touch on Glacier Bay. So we have a wide variety of Glacier Bay experiences. But take a look of us going through, cruising through these channels where the larger ships really don't have that experience.
Yep.
So this is such a key distinguisher as you sail through, accessing these incredible channels just to see the wildlife. Then you also have the smaller ports as well, for the guests to enjoy, and then all touching on Glacier Bay. So a wide variety for guests for the 26th season. And we do have a good amount of capacity because, fun fact, we're bringing in Encore for the first time to Alaska, which is one of our 600 passenger ships. So
Okay.
there are more opportunities for guests to enjoy Alaska for 26. And what makes Alaska unique to Seabourn is that we also have about a dozen or so of our expedition guides on board.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and yes, and that we offer for a nominal fee our Ventures by Seabourn. These are the shore excursions on the Zodiacs with the guides. We only do this in Alaska, where we bring on the expedition guides, and they'll take you out into the smaller destinations, smaller ports, smaller areas, more remote of Alaska for you to enjoy. We also do a little polar plunge experience here. It's not the same as being in Antarctica or the Arctic, but it's there for you to enjoy. And
Sure.
all guests also receive a complimentary Helly Hansen Seabourn jacket
Oh,
for you to
wow.
enjoy with all of our Alaska departures. So yeah, a little fun fact there.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned about the itinerary and the routing in Alaska, because that's, as you know, I do a ton of Alaska business,
Yes.
and one of the things I really try to help folks understand is, yes, a kind of a generic, right, 7-day Alaska cruise, Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, plus a glacier, whichever one it might be, right? But it's so key to really pay attention to which route your ship is taking, right? Is it going through the Inside Passage? Is it going out from Seattle and you're kind of missing Inside Passage? Or in this case, and I think Holland America's, it maybe Eurodam that takes a similar route into these inner channels. Totally
Yes.
different.
Totally different. Yeah. Totally different.
So
So
yeah, people just really want to pay attention to that, because going inside those channels and the fjords versus kind of skipping them, being on the outer side again because you're on a bigger ship, it can really change that
if you're
experience and what you see.
yeah, if you're motion sickness like from Seattle and you're out over here on the outside, 100% you're gonna feel more motion of the ocean versus
Yep.
out of Vancouver, you're protected. It's a lot calmer, and then you have better chance of viewing like the bears and the wildlife because you have land on both sides there. Bring your
Right.
binoculars, but the ships are going into these channels that the larger ships can't. That you could see so much more, and just a lot of glacier opportunities. So a hundred
Definitely.
percent. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. So I'm curious, we've talked about a lot of different itineraries. What can you share with us? Do you have any pictures or anything just to kind of give us a sense of what the ships look like, what the cabins look like, the suites? Would love to see if you have more there that we
Yeah.
can kind of just look through.
Let
And I'll tell
me
folks while you're while you're pulling that up, just kind of looking at the full listing of those Alaska voyages with Seabourn, and it looks like pretty much all of those do qualify for that $300 shipboard credit, that is an exclusive from our agency. So those don't
250.
have the
250.
private.
Oh, you're talking about
Uh,
the consortium amenity. Yes, yes, yes,
yes, yes,
yes,
signature. Yep.
yes, yes. Sorry.
No worries. That's the funny thing. I mean, there's so many promotions and exclusives that can stack, or maybe some don't stack, and keeping them all kind of separate. And I mean, that's just a good testament of what I do. Right? Is when talking with the client, like, okay, what can I stack together to get them the best value on the best itinerary? So
It
there's a lot
is.
out there.
There is a lot out there, and I don't know how you do it, Donovan. I'm just like two suppliers, Seabourn and Holland, and you got everything else that you're
Everybody.
an expert on, right? So
It's challenging. I have a Google sheet that I try to kind of keep myself organized, but it's challenging. And the other piece too is, I want to make sure that I'm giving folks accurate information and not promising an onboard credit or something that is not actually there. So I have to really pay attention to what I'm looking at.
what's the saying? You overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to bring this up here. I'm so sorry. I thought I had
Yeah, no
this.
worries. I kind of threw a curveball at you here, so
No, you're good, man. It's just this PDF. I don't know why it's not. Well, okay, here we go. And this is hot off the press. Um, we have these new brochures that advisors can order, so that you can send it to guests or just download and send it to guests. So let me just share my screen here. So literally, it was just uploaded this week into your assets. So where is it? Where did I just put it? Here it is. Oh, here it is. Perfect.
awesome,
So
very good.
this is how does it look on your side? I'm not.
We can see it okay. If there's anything, yeah, you may zoom in a little bit just so it shows up a little bit bigger. That looks pretty good there, I think.
Yeah, so this kind of gives you like a flow of the room types of what we have. This is the Grand Winter Garden. Here it'll tell you of total square footage space, and gives you a flow. But on this ship, this is the Quest here. So we do have a wide variety of cabin types. Our veranda suites, these are the balconies. These are entry levels, V1, V2, V3, V4, and then you can move up to different variety of suites available. So
Okay.
all of them are verandas. You got some owner suites here, signature owner suites, and so forth. So just to give you a little bit of a visual on the space and the decor. And then you were also asking, remind me again.
Yeah, just if you have easy access, and if you don't, no worries. Any ship kind of public areas, restaurants, any just kind of pictures that we can take a look at just to give folks kind of a sense of what the inside of the ships look like.
Yeah, so bum, bum, bum. Let me pull up uh, this over here. Let me know if you're seeing this. So are you seeing? Oh, now I gotta move it. So sorry, I gotta change screens here.
No worry. We'll pop back over here while you're getting that ready. And I think a good call out, just to give you a minute, is every cabin, if you want to call it that, on the ship is a suite, right? So
Everyone.
that level of amenity and size of the cabins are definitely a step above more traditional cruise ship cabin that you might be used to. Perfect. I think we can see that. Great.
Good. So we do have like the marina. based on the itinerary that's included. So this happens a lot in the Med. If weather's permitting, the water toys are out and available for the guests to use, complimentary. Longboards, zodiacs, uh, kayaking. So all those little items are available for the guests to use. Here are just some of the expedition items, but just some of the public spaces. This is like down the stairways of the atrium here. Um, the in suite dining example, the Helly Hansen on Antarctica jackets that we also include. These are not the Alaska ones, but these are uh, the Antarctica and the Arctic that we include. Just
Those are
trying
so
to,
cool looking.
yeah. And actually, for this coming Alaska season, we're revamping them to a new version. So I wanted to give you that. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the public spaces. Okay, so here we go. This is what I was trying to
Perfect.
find. Here's like an image of the main restaurant here. So dinners are served. Breakfast you could find in Colonnade and Earth and Ocean. Also, lunch and dinners are served in here as well. The Seabourn Square is available. Some great ice creams, gelato made daily, fresh. Your coffees, the observation bar, the sushi restaurant that you could see here. So, just to give you a little bit of a flow of the ocean ship, this is a little bit of an overview that you could find with our ship. There is a casino on board. It's small, it's intimate, but you do have that, and
Okay.
two different pool areas. The midship pool area will have like entertainment throughout the day here for the guests to enjoy. And then we also have an aft pool area with hot tubs that guests can enjoy. So pretty, it's yacht-like experience. A lot of guests, what I see too is, they'll look at the itinerary, they'll be like, okay, it's great. I've been to a lot of these ports already, but they want to enjoy the service and the
Right. The
experience on
experience.
board, right? So it's relaxing. It's just taking it in like at a high-end luxury resort. You want to use a pool, the drinks, and come and go at your leisure. So
I think that's
um,
a great call out really fast. I meant to kind of touch on that earlier, but
sure.
for folks who maybe are new to cruise, who have never cruised before and are maybe a little intimidated by what you see of crowds and 4,000 people, right? A cruise on Seabourn, something like Seabourn, is not really a cruise experience. Think of again that boutique luxury hotel on land, but you're at sea, right? So for someone who's maybe a little apprehensive to dip their toes in cruising, this is a great segue where you're not going to have the lines, the crowds, 4,000 other people, and you're going to get that level of service, right? Is key that you're just not going to find elsewhere.
Yeah. It's when I experienced my first seaborne cruise, and I probably have cruised on, gosh, like probably over 100 cruises in my 22-year career in the cruise industry and a variety of brands. This was like the second time I ever felt like, oh my God, I don't want to get off.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
It's like,
That's
no, I,
incredible.
I don't want to see the red carpet at the end of the cruise and walk off. No, I don't.
I feel like that after every cruise, but yeah, I can see whenever you have something like that, you just don't
Yeah,
want to get off. So
yeah.
now for something a little bit closer to home, of course, there's Caribbean cruising as well, right? Caribbean itineraries.
Yes. We have out of Barbados and St. Martin, we'll have our Caribbean season from November through end of March, beginning of April. We'll have one ship there. It's either Encore or Ovation, ranging from 7 to 14 day options. So we will have repositioning. So, like from the ship leaving Canada, New England, coming down to Miami, she'll do a sailing out to position in Barbados or St. Martin. and then we'll throw in like one round trip Miami departure there, but really we're not um, out of Miami all too much, to
Right.
be honest with you. Yep,
Sure.
yep, yep,
Sure.
yep.
Very good. Well, Javier, we have covered quite a lot. I feel almost like an expert with Seabourn. Now, is there anything, any big things that we're missing that we haven't discussed that you want to make sure people remember and take home with them about Seabourn?
So our 2028 World Cruise.
Okay,
Is
let's talk about that. Yeah.
So let me pull up that other deck here. Let me see if I have it here. Is going to open, or actually, you know what? Let me share a different screen.
Okay.
So this is going to open to our club members first, and then we
Hmm.
are going to open it to our general public after. So let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, you're kidding me. Sorry, Donovan. Your people are like, okay, but tell me, there's more. Um, it- it's here we go. Okay. So let me just open this up here. Just to give you a little context, we were going back and forth on the itinerary deployment just because of the Red Sea
Right. Right.
challenges. So because of that, we had to be a little bit more creative on our world cruise deployment. But this is actually going to drop on bum bum bum. Oh man, that was going to drop today for the preview, but I'm going to give you the preview now. Please don't. Yeah.
Don't tell
So
anybody that Javier showed us.
so this is the preview. Drum roll, please.
All right.
Here we go. And let me just share screen window. Here it is.
All
Perfect.
right.
So let me know when you have it
I can
up there.
I can see it. I see it.
Perfect. So this is going to be the full cruise, January 7th of 28 to May 6th, 120-day Cape to Cape World Cruise, Miami to Dover. You could see everything here with the late night departures, even branching out to Easter Island, and then coming back to South America, coming down even to Antarctica, then coming back up going into Buenos Aires, and then crossing over to South Africa, and then coming all around. You're probably asking, your people are probably asking, like, huh, that's a little bit of a different, unique world cruise itinerary. But again, that um, Suez Canal is still off limits. So to be
Sure.
more cautious and to avoid any redeployment, we're going this route here for January of 28th. So 23 countries, 5 continents, 2 equator crossings, 5 overnight ports. Yeah, over 26,000 nautical miles cruised. So
That's incredible. That's a few miles for sure.
a few miles to add. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. A world cruise is something, I would do that at some point in time when was at a space in my life to be able to do that. As you know, I have
Sure.
three little ones at home, so
Little
that
ones.
this might be a little challenging right now, but wow, that is quite a cruise. And I think it's unique because you know, most of them will go through the Suez, or maybe they'll head over to Asia, Australia, kind of hit that part. But you don't see as many that will come up the western side of Africa up to the northern Europe there. So that is very unique, and I look at it and say it's an opportunity for something different from kind of the normal that you would see.
Yes. Yeah. And you will be able to do segments. So stay tuned on that. So if you don't want to do the full 120 days,
Yeah,
there we will break it up into like 4 different segments as well.
yeah, definitely.
So you're
Very
seeing it
good.
here first, people.
I love it. Yeah, we're getting a little early access. We certainly appreciate that, and I mean
Yes.
that just looks like one heck of a cruise. So certainly, if anybody's interested, reach out, and we will get that one figured out for you.
Yes.
Very good.
Perfect.
Well, Javier, we have been chit chatting for almost an hour now. We have covered so much. I feel like we have got just a great, kind of base understanding of what Seabourn is, who the brand is for, and really it can be for everybody, right? I didn't walk away from this feeling like it's kind of geared more towards these type of people. It's for everybody who just want a different type of cruise vacation experience. So really appreciate your knowledge and sharing all of that with us today.
My pleasure, Donovan. Thank you for bringing me in to your people. Happy to spread the word and continue, Donovan, to do what you are doing because it is working. You are successful at it, and yeah, keep rocking it. Wave season is here, folks. We do have the Seabourn Wave offer in market right now. It just opened up yesterday, and it's our more events or explore more event. Let me see if I could share this here, Donovan,
Sure.
because this is live right now and it is up to a 15% savings for guests with a, oh my gosh, why is this not opening? My computer, I think I have like way too many things open. So
I
yeah.
understand that happens. That happens to me too. You look up and you have like 37 tabs open.
Yeah. So okay, I think it's now working to my favorite. Yes. Ooh, almost hit the wrong button. That would have been bad. But this is the explore more event, up to 50%
Mhm.
savings, 15% reduced deposits, and up to $1,000 per suite onboard credit.
Amazing,
This,
amazing. I
yes,
love it.
this does combine with that consortia amenity that you were um, mentioning about, up to a $500 onboard credit or $500 onboard credit for expedition sailings or the private car and driver for ocean amenity there too. And then we also
Sure.
have an additional 250 per booking onboard credit that I will support. So if you fund or if you have any bookings for the next 2 weeks, Donovan, email me those booking numbers. We'll add that extra 250 on top of it as well. So yeah, let's get them on Seabourn, get them
Definitely,
hooked.
definitely. No, thank you so much. And I want to just call out for folks there. Javier, really appreciate the special offer for our clients only, extra $250 shipboard credit for the next 2 weeks. Appreciate that. That's not something that you have to do. But just like you said, it stacks with all of the other promotions out there, just like what you're seeing on your screen, folks. So it's the best time of year to book a cruise, right? You're going to get a great cruise experience and be able to stack lots of savings and value into your cruise experience. So, really appreciate that offer. And again, appreciate your time today, Javier.
Perfect. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you, Javier. Folks, be sure to join us. We're going to have our next cruise chat next Thursday, December 11th. We'll have our good friend Taylor from Celebrity Cruises joining us again. So make sure you come in and join us on that one. Javier, we look forward to having you on again probably sometime next year, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Really always fun talking to you on these. Folks, have a great day. Hope you have a great day. Javier, thank you again.
Thank you. Bye bye.